Instantly escape the trap of reality matrix and enter the fifth dimension. Right now, you are trapped in a dream. A dream so convincing, so immersive, that you don't even realize it's a dream. Every single thing you've been taught, from the way you perceive time to the way you understand yourself, is part of a carefully constructed illusion. And the craziest part, you agreed to this illusion before you were even born. You chose to enter this dense, physical reality, to forget who you really are, to play this game of life without remembering that it's just a game. But now, something is changing. You can feel it, can't you? The rules of the game don't seem as solid anymore. Time feels strange. Reality feels like it's shifting around you. You are beginning to suspect that there is something more, something beyond this physical existence. And you are absolutely right. What if I told you that the world you see is not the real world? That everything you experience, this body, this mind, this planet, is part of a controlled simulation designed to keep your consciousness locked in a limited state. The truth is, you are not a person living in a universe. You are pure consciousness, a limitless being of light, existing in dimensions far beyond what your physical senses can detect. The only reason you feel trapped is because your awareness has been conditioned to operate at only one level of reality, the third dimension. But here's the secret: you can break free right now, instantly. Because the only thing keeping you locked in this reality is your belief that you are trapped.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
The third dimension is built on a system of limitations: duality, time, separation, fear. You've been taught that you are a separate individual, moving through time, struggling to survive, trying to find meaning in a chaotic world. But this is not the truth. This is the matrix, a carefully designed construct that keeps your awareness focused only on what your five senses can perceive. But beyond this layer of illusion, there is an entirely different level of existence, a reality where time does not control you, where separation does not exist, where you are no longer playing a game of survival, but instead experiencing pure, boundless creation. This is the fifth dimension, and the moment you shift into it, everything changes. But how do you escape the matrix? How do you shift from the dense, heavy energy of the third dimension into the limitless state of the fifth? The first step is the most important. You must wake up to the illusion. You must recognize, deep in your being, that everything you see around you is not the full picture of reality. You must question everything: your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions. Because as long as you believe in the limitations of this world, you will remain bound by them. The matrix is not just a system outside of you, it is a program running in your mind. And the only way to break free is to see through the program. I think about it, how much of your life is dictated by fear? Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the future. Fear is one of the primary mechanisms that keeps your consciousness locked in the third dimension. It keeps you small, keeps you reactive, keeps you looking outside yourself for answers. But here is the truth they don't want you to know. Fear is an illusion. It is a program designed to keep your vibration low. And the moment you realize that fear has no real power over you, you begin to break free. But breaking free isn't just about rejecting fear, it's about remembering your true nature. You are not just a physical body. You are a multidimensional being, a fragment of infinite consciousness, experiencing itself through this temporary human form. The moment you remember this, the matrix starts to dissolve. The world stops feeling so heavy. You start noticing synchronicities, strange coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Time starts feeling less linear, more fluid. You begin to feel an overwhelming sense of peace, even when nothing in your external life has changed. This is the beginning of your shift into the fifth dimension. But here's where most people get stuck. They wake up to the illusion, they start seeing the cracks in reality, but then they fear the unknown. They cling to the familiar, even though they know it's a trap. This is the final test. The matrix will always try to pull you back in, to make you doubt, to make you question whether any of this is real. This is why detachment is key. You must let go not just of fear, but of everything that anchors you to the third dimension. Your old identity, your attachment to outcomes, your need to control. Because the fifth dimension is not something you reach, it is something you allow. It is already here, already accessible, but you cannot enter it while holding on to the old version of yourself. So I ask you now, are you ready to let go? Are you ready to stop playing small, to stop living by the rules of a broken system, and instead step into the infinite power that has always been within you? Because the moment you truly decide to stop believing in limitations, you will realize they never existed in the first place. You were never trapped. You were never small. You were never just a human struggling through life. You were always infinite. You were always free. And now you are beginning to remember. The hidden code of the universe, how to hack reality and manifest limitless possibilities. Once you begin to see through the illusion of the matrix, you realize something profound. Reality is not fixed. It is not something happening to you. It is something responding to you. And the way it responds is not random. It follows a precise, hidden code. A code that determines what you attract, what you experience, and how you move through dimensions of existence. Most people are completely unaware of this code, which is why they feel trapped, powerless, stuck in cycles of struggle and limitation. But the moment you understand how reality actually works, you gain the ability to hack the system. You gain the ability to shape your reality as effortlessly as breathing. The first key to hacking reality is understanding that the external world is not separate from you. It is a reflection of your inner world. Every thought, every emotion, every belief you hold creates a vibrational frequency. This frequency is like a signal you are constantly broadcasting into the universe. And reality, like a mirror, reflects that frequency back to you in the form of experiences, opportunities, people, and circumstances. This is why two people can live in the same world but experience completely different realities. One person, vibrating at the frequency of fear and scarcity, will experience a life filled with struggle and limitation. Another person, vibrating at the frequency of abundance and joy, will experience a life filled with ease and synchronicity. The external world is not the cause, it is the effect. So if you want to escape the limitations of the third dimension and shift into the infinite possibilities of the fifth dimension, the change must begin within. You must become conscious of the frequency you are broadcasting. Every time you dwell in fear, in doubt, in lack, you are reinforcing the very reality you are trying to escape. But the moment you shift your vibration by choosing thoughts of possibility, by aligning with emotions of love and expansion, reality begins to reorganize itself around your new frequency. This is not just a theory. This is the fundamental law of existence. But here's where most people struggle. They try to change their external reality without shifting their internal state. They try to manifest abundance while still believing in scarcity. They try to attract love while still feeling unworthy. They try to reach the fifth dimension while still clinging to the fear-based programming of the third. And when nothing changes, they assume reality is fixed, that they are powerless. But the truth is, they are still playing by the old rules. They are still operating from the illusion that reality is something separate from them. The matrix wants you to believe this, because as long as you do, you remain trapped. The second key to hacking reality is detachment from the illusion of time. In the third dimension, time is perceived as linear, a past, leading to a present, leading to a future. This illusion keeps people stuck, waiting for change, waiting for the future to bring them what they desire. But in the higher dimensions, time does not function this way. Everything you could ever experience, every possible version of reality already exists right now. The version of you that is fully awakened, fully free, fully abundant. That version of you is not in the future. It is happening now, in a parallel reality. The only reason you have not stepped into it is because you are still tuned into the frequency of your current reality. Imagine reality as an infinite number of radio stations. If you are tuned into the frequency of limitation, that is the only station you can experience. But the moment you shift your vibration through thought, emotion, and belief, you instantly tune into a new station, a new version of reality. This is why change does not happen over time. It happens the moment you shift your frequency. The problem is, most people keep checking their external reality for proof before they believe the shift has happened. And by doing so, they keep tuning back into their old station, reinforcing the very reality they are trying to escape. So I ask you now, what reality are you choosing? Not tomorrow, not in the future, right now. Because in this very moment, you are tuning into a specific dimension of existence. You are broadcasting a signal that is shaping the world around you. The question is, are you doing it consciously, or are you letting old programming dictate your experience? The reality you desire, the five-dimensional existence of limitless creation, effortless flow, and deep connection is already here. You do not need to reach for it. You do not need to wait for it. You simply need to align with it. Collapsing the old world, how to exit the 3D system and enter the 5D timeline permanently. The moment you start seeing through the illusion of the 3D matrix, something profound happens. The world around you begins to collapse. Not in a destructive way, but in a way that forces you to question everything you once believed was real. You start noticing how artificial the structures of society feel. The endless cycles of work, consumption, and survival seem meaningless. The fears and doubts that once controlled you feel like echoes of a past self that no longer exists. This is the breakdown of the old paradigm, the dissolving of the 3D system that has kept humanity trapped for millennia. And once you recognize this process, you have a choice. Either cling to the collapsing world or step fully into the 5D timeline where limitless possibilities await. Exiting the 3D system is not about physically leaving the world. It is about detaching from the mind-based programming that keeps you locked into its frequency. The third dimension is built on control, fear, and separation. It convinces you that you are small, that you are powerless, that you must conform to survive. But this is all a deception. The truth is, the only thing keeping you in the 3D timeline is your agreement to its rules. The moment you stop agreeing, the moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop believing in its limitations, you begin to shift out of it. But here's where most people struggle. They start waking up, they start seeing through the illusion, but then fear pulls them back in. They worry about money, about security, about what society expects of them. They doubt whether they can truly break free. And this is the final test. The 3D system will do everything in its power to pull you back through fear, through distractions, through resistance from those around you. But none of these things have real power over you unless you give them power. The key to permanently shifting into the 5D timeline is detachment from the external world. This does not mean you abandon life, it means you stop being controlled by it. You stop reacting to fear-based narratives. You stop engaging in pointless conflicts. You stop seeking validation from a broken system. Instead, you operate from a higher frequency, one that is rooted in trust, in creation, in flow. The fifth dimension is not something you enter in the future, it is a state of being that you choose right now. But here's the catch. The old world will not validate your awakening. It will not give you proof that you are shifting. In fact, it may try to convince you that nothing is changing. This is because the 3D system is designed to keep you looking outside yourself for confirmation. But the shift to 5D is an internal process. It is a shift in perception, a shift in frequency, a shift in how you engage with reality. And the moment you stop needing external validation, you are free. So what does life look like when you fully exit the 3D system? It looks like effortless creation. Synchronicities become your new reality. Opportunities flow to you without struggle. You no longer chase abundance, it naturally aligns with you. You no longer seek happiness, it emerges from within. You no longer fear the future because you realize you are the one creating it. But most importantly, life stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a game. You begin to see reality for what it truly is, a fluid, ever-changing field of energy that responds to your consciousness. You realize that you are not here to survive, you are here to create, to expand, to experience the infinite nature of your being. So I ask you now, are you ready to let the old world collapse? Are you ready to stop playing by rules that were never designed to empower you? Are you ready to step into the 5th dimension, not as an escape, but as a conscious choice to exist in a reality that reflects your highest truth? Because the doorway is open. The only thing you need to do is step through. Becoming a 5D creator, how to master reality and manifest anything effortlessly. Now that you understand how the 3D system traps you and how the 5 timeline is a state of being rather than a place, the final step is mastering your ability to create reality effortlessly. This is where you transition from being a passive observer of life to the conscious architect of your existence. No more struggle, no more waiting, no more doubting whether you have the power, because you do. You always have. The only thing that has ever stopped you from manifesting exactly what you desire is the illusion that you couldn't. The truth is, manifestation is not about forcing things to happen. It is not about begging the universe, performing rituals, or trying to attract something that is separate from you. The 5D reality does not operate on effort, it operates on alignment. What you desire already exists. Right now, in this moment, every possible version of your life is already happening in parallel timelines. The only reason you are not experiencing your highest possible reality is because you are still tuned into the frequency of lack, doubt, or waiting. The moment you shift your frequency, the reality you desire automatically aligns with you. I think of it like this. Imagine a radio with infinite channels. Each channel represents a different version of reality. If you are tuned into the frequency of fear, struggle, or limitation, that is the only channel you will experience. But if you shift your frequency to one of abundance, love, and trust, you instantly tune into a new channel where those things are your reality. This is why belief is the most powerful force in existence. Your belief is the tuning mechanism that determines which version of reality you experience. But here's where most people go wrong. They try to manifest from a place of lack. They say, I want more money, or I want love, or I want to be free. But the very act of wanting implies that they do not have it. And because the universe mirrors back whatever energy you hold, it continues to reflect lack. The key to effortless manifestation is embodiment. You must become the version of yourself that already has what you seek. Not in the future, not someday, right now. Ask yourself, who would I be if I already had everything I desire? How would I think? How would I feel? How would I act? This is not just imagination, this is recalibrating your frequency. The universe does not respond to what you say you want, it responds to who you are. The moment you embody abundance, abundance must appear. The moment you embody love, love must manifest. The moment you embody freedom, Reality reorganizes itself to reflect that freedom. But here's the catch: you must let go of control. The ego wants to know how things will happen, when they will happen, in what form they will happen. This attachment to control is what keeps people stuck in the 3D paradigm. The 5D reality does not operate through linear efforts, through energetic alignment. You do not need to figure out the details. You do not need to force anything. Your only job is to hold the frequency of your desired reality so consistently that it becomes the only option the universe can reflect back to you. This is why surrender is the final key to mastery. Surrender does not mean giving up, it means trusting so deeply in your power that you no longer feel the need to control anything. You know that the moment you align with a reality, it is already yours. You do not chase, you do not doubt, you do not wait. You simply become and reality follows. And this is where the deepest shift happens. At this level, you are no longer manifesting from a place of desire, you are manifesting from a place of pure creation. You are no longer reacting to reality, you are designing it. You are no longer hoping for change, you are the change. This is what it means to be a 5D creator. This is what it means to master reality. So I ask you one final question: are you ready to stop existing as a victim of reality and start existing as the creator of it? Because the moment you truly decide, everything shifts. The only thing that was ever in your way was the illusion that you were not powerful. And now that illusion is gone. You are free. You are limitless. You are the architect of your universe. And now the game is yours to play.